Now that we have our application set up, let's look at the different ways we can run and test our app. The simplest and most common way is to test our app in a local desktop browser. First, I'm just going to type Ionic. If we run Ionic with no command line arguments, we'll get a helpful menu showing various features. For example, you'll see the start command we ran to start a new project. Right under it, we'll see the serve command, which lets us test in a local browser. Let's do that now. The Ionic serve command will compile the TypeScript and Sass locally and then launch a web server. And here we see our app in a desktop browser. Now, when we first see our app in a browser, it looks a little funny in a full screen desktop browser. So there's a couple of things we can do. First, let's hit F12 to get the developer tools. And then right over here, I'm going to toggle the device toolbar. And when I do that, it gives a more mobile display. The other thing I like to do, since mobile apps have a more vertically oriented screen here, is I like to dock my tools to the right side of the screen. But you can do whatever your personal preference is here. And you can see that we have an Ionic app, and we can see the tabs that we set up. So for example, we can switch between devices, Nexus 5, Galaxy S5, and we can see these devices right here. And here are our tabs. I have a home tab, about, contact. I can see the different tabs here. We have a fully running app in the desktop browser. Makes it really easy to test. In fact, I can even switch between an iPad, and we can see it's a larger screen, but I can still have the tabs across the bottom. So testing becomes really easy. Now, another great aspect of this is that we have live reload. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come into my pages folder, specifically the home screen, the home.html, and let me just move this over to the side a little bit. And right here where it says welcome to Ionic, you can see this corresponds to this H2 tag right over here. So I'm going to type instead Ionic to plural site. And just by doing that, you're going to see that it reloaded and it shows Ionic to plural site right here. Now, in my Visual Studio Code, I have autosave turned on. So just by typing that, it waited for a second or so and then saved the file. Ionic then recognized that a new file had been saved and did an automatic reload. In fact, if we come back here to the command line where we launched the Ionic serve command, you can see right here that it noticed the HTML change for home.html. The HTML didn't actually change for tabs, so that just showed up, but home is where it actually changed. So we got live automatic reload, and it's very easy to test the app because we can iterate so quickly with changes and viewing our changes on the screen directly. The other thing we get when we launch Ionic Serve is some basic commands. So we can see that we have R or restart, Q for quit, and a few others as well. So I'm just going to type Q here for quit and hit enter. And now we've stopped the Ionic Serve command. We've stopped the web server. For most of this course, we will be using Ionic Serve to test the app because it's so quick and easy to use. However, I want to show you a few other ways you can test your app as well. We'll do that next.